The atmosphere surrounding the Patriots during this stretch feels noticeably different, and that becomes clear the moment you listen to how the players speak and carry themselves. From the early days of the week all the way toward the build-up of Super Bowl Sunday, there is a sense of balance between responsibility and enjoyment that defines this group. In past Super Bowl runs, everything felt heavy, strictly professional, almost mechanical. This time around, the mindset is still focused and serious, but there is also room for personality, confidence, and genuine appreciation for the moment they are living. During media availability, that contrast stood out immediately. Conversations flowed more naturally, with players showing comfort and ease instead of rigid answers. There was laughter, curiosity, and even light-hearted moments mixed into the football talk. At the same time, no one lost sight of the goal. The message underneath every answer was clear. They understand exactly what is at stake, and they are prepared to handle it. That combination of joy and discipline is something that often defines teams capable of performing at the highest level. One of the central topics throughout the week has been the health of the quarterback, especially concerning his shoulder. It has been discussed consistently, and understandably so, given the importance of the position at this stage of the season. When asked about it, his response was calm and confident. He explained that he feels strong, that his workload has increased compared to the previous week, and that missing a practice earlier did not create any long-term concern. His body language matched his words, and on the field he looked comfortable throwing, moving, and engaging fully in practice sessions. Seeing him arrive with the team, carrying himself naturally and without hesitation, reinforced the idea that he expects to be on the field when it matters most. There was no sense of doubt or hesitation in his demeanor. For a team preparing for the Super Bowl, that kind of clarity at the quarterback position is invaluable. It allows everyone else to focus on execution rather than uncertainty, and it sets a tone of confidence that spreads quickly through the locker room. Leadership has also been a recurring theme, particularly from veterans who have experienced this stage multiple times. One defender, now appearing in his third Super Bowl within a relatively short span of seasons, spoke openly about how his perspective has evolved. Earlier in his career, emotions often took over, whether through tears of joy after major wins or disappointment following painful losses. This year, the emotional release came earlier, right after securing the conference championship. Once that moment passed, his mindset shifted entirely toward preparation and responsibility. That approach has made him a stabilizing presence within the team. Younger players look to him not just for advice on the field, but for guidance on how to handle the magnitude of the event itself. He understands the distractions, the noise, and the emotional pull that comes with the Super Bowl, and he emphasizes staying grounded. His message is simple but powerful. Enjoy the journey, but do not lose focus on the work that still needs to be done. Across the roster, similar maturity is evident. Skill position players talked about decision-making, about knowing when to take risks and when to protect the football. Those conversations reflected growth, especially from players who have learned through mistakes earlier in the season. Confidence now feels earned rather than forced. There is trust in preparation, trust in teammates, and trust in the system that has guided them to this point. One receiver, reflecting on his path through organized team activities, mini camps, preseason, and the grind of the regular season, described the experience as challenging but rewarding. His journey has been defined by patience and persistence, and that mindset is now paying off on the biggest stage possible. Comparisons to former Patriots legends inevitably arise, but his focus remains on becoming the best version of himself rather than trying to replicate someone else's career. Learning from those who have done it before is valuable, but carving out his own identity matters just as much. The running game is another area drawing attention, especially given how it has evolved throughout the season. Early struggles with ball security created questions, but recent performances suggest renewed confidence and rhythm. The running back spoke with belief about where his game stands now, noting that he feels closer to his peak form again. His vision, patience, and physicality have returned, and there is a growing sense that he could play a major role in the outcome of the game. Defensively, the focus has narrowed on stopping the run and forcing the opponent into uncomfortable situations. Players emphasize discipline, communication, and trust. They acknowledge that nerves are inevitable, especially in a Super Bowl environment. But once the first hit happens and the game settles in, football becomes familiar again. The message was consistent. Rely on the teammate next to you. Execute your assignment, and respond quickly when things do not go according to plan. Several players also reflected on what it means personally to reach this moment. Childhood dreams, imaginary Super Bowl introductions, and backyard reenactments suddenly feel very real. Standing on this stage represents years of sacrifice, resilience, and belief. For some, joining New England was a turning point, a decision rooted in feeling truly wanted and trusted by the organization. That sense of belief, combined with a culture that understands what winning looks like, has strengthened their commitment and motivation. Throughout all these conversations, one underlying theme continues to surface: authenticity. Players consistently describe the environment as one where they can be themselves while still being pushed to excel. Relationships matter here, not just performance. Small gestures, personal conversations, and genuine care have helped build trust, and that trust now shows up in how the team plays and prepares. As the week progresses and attention intensifies, the Patriots continue to lean into that foundation, staying grounded in routine, preparation, and the shared understanding that every detail, every snap, and every decision will matter when the game finally begins. As the days move forward and the spotlight grows brighter, the internal rhythm of the team becomes even more important. Practices are sharper, meetings feel more intentional, and every repetition carries weight. There is an understanding that preparation now is not about doing more, but about doing everything with precision. Players talk openly about details, about reading subtle cues before the snap, about trusting instincts built over months of work. Nothing feels rushed, yet nothing feels relaxed in the wrong way. The quarterback's mindset continues to draw attention, not because of uncertainty, but because of how composed he remains. He speaks about balance, about knowing when to extend a play and when to live for the next down. That maturity is reflected in how he processes mistakes as well. He acknowledges moments he wishes he could have back earlier in the season, but he frames them as necessary steps in growth rather than regrets. In his view, big moments belong to players who want the ball when pressure is highest, and that mentality now defines how he approaches this game. Veterans reinforce that approach by reminding younger teammates that adversity is inevitable, even on the biggest stage. Drives will stall, momentum will swing, and emotions will fluctuate. What matters is response. The defense echoes that sentiment, emphasizing quick adjustments and mental toughness. They have faced difficult stretches all year, and those experiences have shaped their confidence in bouncing back. The belief is not that everything will go perfectly, but that the group is equipped to handle whatever unfolds. Conversations about identity also come up repeatedly. Players describe this team as one that thrives on connection and accountability. Everyone knows their role, but there is also flexibility built into the system. Communication on and off the field allows adjustments to happen smoothly, whether it is in coverage, protection, or tempo. That shared understanding creates freedom within structure, a combination that has fueled their run to this point. Several players reflect on the significance of wearing this uniform, especially given the history attached to it. There is respect for what came before, but no desire to live in the past. The focus remains on writing a new chapter, one defined by this group and this journey. Younger players speak about learning from those who have experienced multiple championship runs, absorbing lessons about preparation, recovery, and mindset. Those lessons are not delivered through speeches, but through daily habits and quiet examples. The emotional side of the Super Bowl experience is impossible to ignore, yet the team seems comfortable acknowledging it without letting it take control. Players share stories about family, about sacrifices made along the way, and about the support systems that carried them through difficult moments. That perspective helps keep the moment grounded. Football remains the priority, but the human side of the journey adds meaning rather than distraction. There is also a noticeable sense of gratitude within the locker room. Several players mention feeling truly valued by the organization, feeling trusted to contribute and grow. That belief has translated into confidence on the field. Confidence not rooted in bravado, but in preparation and mutual respect. When players trust the environment, they play faster, communicate better, and take ownership of their responsibilities. As game planning continues, attention shifts toward situational football. red zone efficiency, third down execution, and controlling the line of scrimmage dominate discussions. These are not new concepts, but their importance is magnified on this stage. Players emphasize discipline, understanding that small lapses can swing momentum quickly. At the same time, they recognize opportunities to be aggressive when the moment calls for it. The defensive mindset remains centered on physicality and awareness. Stopping the run is described as a tone setter, something that establishes control early. Forcing predictable situations allows the defense to play with confidence and aggression. Communication becomes the anchor, ensuring everyone moves as one unit. Trust and preparation fuels trust in each other. Offensively, the emphasis is on rhythm and adaptability. Establishing balance keeps defenses honest, while quick decisions help neutralize pressure. Skill players talk about spacing, timing, and reading coverage together with the quarterback. Those connections have been built over countless reps, and now they are relied upon instinctively. Throughout all of this, the sense of excitement remains present, but it is measured. Players allow themselves to appreciate where they are, without losing sight of where they are going. The Super Bowl represents the culmination of years of effort, but also just another opportunity to play the game they love with the teammates they trust. That perspective keeps nerves manageable and focus sharp. As the week continues, the noise outside grows louder, but inside the building, the message stays consistent. Preparation over prediction. Process over pressure. The Patriots move forward with clarity, confidence, and a shared commitment to execute at the highest level when it matters most, carrying with them the lessons of the season, the strength of their relationships, and the belief that they are ready for the challenge ahead. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could stir the pot in the NFL, a star player from the Houston Texans made waves during a recent press conference with comments that seemed to target the New England Patriots. Speaking with his trademark candor, the Texans standout didn't hold back when discussing his views on the league's perennial powerhouse, hinting at a growing tension that fans and analysts are already buzzing about. While he stopped short of issuing a direct challenge, the undertone of his remarks suggested a deep-seated rivalry, or at least a personal frustration, with the Patriots' system and approach. Sources close to the team suggest that the comments were not entirely off the cuff, sparking speculation that there may be more behind-the-scenes drama unfolding in Houston. Insiders are pointing to recent roster moves and coaching dynamics as potential triggers for the players' pointed statements, and some believe this could be an early indicator of a shift in the Texans' strategy as they seek to assert themselves against established contenders. Social media immediately ignited with reactions, ranging from fans defending the Patriots' legacy to Texans supporters rallying behind their outspoken star. Analysts are dissecting every word, noting how the timing and tone could play a psychological role in future matchups. While some argue the remarks are a mere reflection of competitive fire, others see them as a calculated move to draw attention to Houston's evolving ambitions in the league. The player's history of bold statements adds weight to the theory that this is more than just casual commentary. It's a signal that the Texans are ready to make noise in a division historically dominated by disciplined, well-coached teams. Like New England. Whatever the case, the remarks have undeniably created a storyline that could linger throughout the season, setting the stage for what many are already calling a narrative to watch closely. With the NFL landscape shifting and young talent emerging across teams, every word from high-profile players carries potential ripple effects. Whether this particular comment will spark an actual feud, motivate a tactical shakeup, or simply fade into the chatter remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The TEXANS STAR has reminded everyone that when it comes to rivalry and spectacle, the drama off the field can be just as compelling as the action on it. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.